Yeah, it was. I mean, the conditions were pretty tough, but no, it's always good to when you travel interstate. The flight home is long from Darwin back to Melbourne, and it's always better to win. So we came here with a very strong resolve that we needed to win this game, and the results show that we did. So, in tough conditions, I thought the game was pretty even, really. When you think about the opportunities we had and that they had early, fortunately for us, we took ours, and the second half, I think there was only a couple of points in it. If you look at the goals for, so it was a tight second half.
Was it particularly pleasing the fact that the boys were able to hang on after that big comeback and got it back within 3 goals?
Yeah, no, I thought we had some opportunities in the last quarter to show some composure, and we took those. We probably had a couple of opportunities where we could have been a little bit cleaner with our ball use in the last quarter, but they had a mindset. I think it was all or nothing in the last quarter, and some of their clearance stuff in the last quarter was pretty good. But I think at times when we control the speed of the game on those 4 or 5 occasions, I think that's certainly a lot better than what we did last year. So we certainly improved in that area, absolutely.
Are you happy with how your players handled the heat?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's easy to say yes because we've won the game, but yeah, I think so. I think some of our ball use is pretty good. There wasn't a lot of slippery, wet hands. Where the ball continually slipped through. I mean, there's always. I mean, you come up here and play in an environment where it is humid, and you expect that to happen. But I thought both teams actually handled the ball reasonably well. I reckon, particularly under the conditions.
Must have been pleased with how even your contribution was. Like, given, I guess, there's a very even spread of goal kickers, and then a guy like James Crawley plays it earlier in the thing.
Yeah, no, Chipper was outstanding. And his attack or his appetite for the contest was as good as it's been, and he stood up very well. I thought our backs, when they're under the heat, really stood up. But no, I think the evenness across the board. I think the evenness across the inside 50s, but also the number of goal kickers is really important for us. And if we can continue to have multiple players kicking goals, I think that makes us a little bit more dangerous up forward.
Geordie McKenzie played quite a good role on Travis Boak, I thought.
Yeah, no, Geordie's, Geordie's just a very good player. He just works really hard, and he deserves every accolade he can get. Geordie, he's incredibly well respected amongst the playing group, and he plays well in most games.
Have you really identified Boak before the bounce? I think his last 2 games he's been outstanding.
Yeah, no, he's a very classy player, Travis. He's got great agility, and he's got some real power around the stoppage. He can break tackles and really break the game open, and he's very, very good in that situation. We thought that obviously Pearce was obviously a concern for us as well, and I think probably Nathan broke even with him at the end of the day, which was important for us as well.
What are you forecasting recovery-wise this week? Did you feel that they were a bit lethargic towards the end of the game?
No, I don't think so. I think we've come off the bye, and as I said before, we had a couple of. We threw an extra training session in. That was probably more along the lines of, if you give the players too many days off, that can almost breed a little bit of lethargy. So I thought the fitness guys sort of, and the coaches decided we put a couple of extra training sessions in, which obviously it's good for us. But we thought we needed to have that, and no, I don't think they were lethargic. I think we were still running over the ground in the last quarter. I just think that they kicked a couple of very good stoppage goals and got themselves on a bit of a run. But like I said before, I think we composed ourselves better than we have certainly this time last year.
You've got a few pretty tough games coming up over the next couple of weeks. Is it difficult to fly back to Melbourne and then recover, I guess, from the heat and from the extra stress of being up here?
Oh, I think the sports science in most football clubs is pretty good. Obviously we'll recover again tomorrow. I think the sleep is the first. I mean, sleep's super important the first 2 days, so the first 48 hours, particularly interstate travel. But no, I think our training loads, etc., because we've come off the bye, have been reasonably high last 2 weeks. So we'll probably level that out this week and freshen them up for the next for the next 7 weeks of the football. So you get a lot of information on GPS and all sorts of things. So I think most clubs manage their players pretty well, and obviously coming off it'll be interesting to see what our dehydration rates are, how much weight we've lost. It's important to be hydrated, so we should be okay, I think.
On what you saw tonight, is Port Adelaide playing like a side deserting in Wooden Spoon?
No. no, they've. I thought they were probably a little bit unlucky against Brisbane. They played well against Brisbane, up in Brisbane. I think they've got some, they've got some young players who are, young Lobbies are, I think, going to be a good player for them. A young bloke who was drafted a couple of years ago is just starting to really produce now, and he's a good runner, covers the ground particularly well. Shorts up forwards are, he's a classy player, and he can kick multiple goals. So they've got some youth that'll be unearthed, and I would expect that they'll carry the rest of the year out very well, and I think they compete particularly well. Fortunately for us, we got off to a good start, which was really the difference in the end.
What did you think of Jack Corns? Do you think there might be a little bit of life left in him yet?
Look, I coached Chad for a number of years, and he's just a super competitive person and a competitive player. So, I mean, the mark he took tonight in the third quarter, I think it was. I saw when I was coaching at Port, I saw a lot of that. So he's got great pride in his performance, Chad. So he, if anyone's going to, not change the pundits, he'll certainly change some opinions because of what he's done over his career. But fortunately for me, I'm in a Melbourne shirt tonight, and we won the game, so that's what's important.
How did you see the drafting tonight?
I thought his first half was good. I think his second half he didn't have the impact that we would have liked Liam to have. But he was electric at times. Like the mark he took running back with the flight of it, I thought was outstanding. Great courage, and he was very, very keen to play well. I mean, he's the only Indigenous player in our team today, and he had a lot of text, a lot of pressure from the Indigenous boys back home. So no, he's a very proud Walpuri leader, and his best way of showing is when he plays well, and he was very keen to play well tonight, let me tell you.
And how did you see his work tonight? How did you see his work off the ball and that sort of thing?
Oh no, it was still pretty good. Yeah, I mean he does chase, he does tackle, he does put his teammates into space, but he also applies the amount of forward 50 pressure that we require, and it was just nice to see him kick a few goals.
How important is he for the road ahead, do you think?
He's as important as Jordan McKenzie is, who is important as James Frawley is, who's as important as Mark Jamer, who's as important as everyone else. No one more important than anyone else. And they've all got to play the role and contribute, and that's, I think, the evenness. The question before was a good one.
Quickly,
one more.
any concern about Tom Scully and possibility in the first quarter?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he just landed a bit awkwardly on his knee, so the doc said, look, I think he's. We were talking about who could be the sub, and the medical advice was, look, he's come off. We need to check him, but it might take 5 to 10 minutes. So we said, we'll sub him. So we'll see how he's in the next 24 to 40 hours, but hopefully it's nothing more than a bruised knee.